The Toledo Institute of Astronomy was founded in 1837 as the Stickney Library of Almanacs, or Almanacs, by Angelica Stickney, whose family's fortune had been made in shipping and whose lifelong passion was observing the night sky. She employed 2 full-time academics in her library. The more elderly of them, Dr. Claude Pooley, had been hired to study and catalog the information in Mrs. Stickney's astonishing collection of almanacs, from a tablet of Sumerian origin depicting planetary movements to a document from the 16th century that was believed to have been penned by Francis Bacon. The other scientist in her employ, self-taught female prodigy Esther Burchard, was charged with studying stars and weather patterns in order to better inform the decisions made by the Stickney family's transportation business, which operated largely on the Miami and Erie Canal and its Wabash extension. Burchard's husband was an elevator man. He was a naturally suspicious person. Pooley, the librarian, enlightened by the study of ancient texts and tables, became involved in light experiments postulating the chemical composition of the sun. He had such success with his observations that he began to publish his work and bring in other researchers to work with him. On the other side of this dual operation, Stickney carriers laid unfortunate claim to the record for most vessels lost in the river to storms, mechanical failures, and crime. Esther Burchard, whose job it was to advise the captains of these boats, grew more and more reclusive as her predictions increasingly failed. Year by year, she found herself relying less on her anemometer and more on fervent prayer to improve the fates of the company. Eventually, she lost her job. When pressed to account for this, Angelica Stickney calmly explained that Esther Burchard was a weather witch and had accordingly been banished from the company. Her husband almost immediately fell down an elevator shaft and died, leaving behind a curt note to his children that his wife was not to blame. Esther Burchard was not seen or heard from again. Angelica's son, Harold Stickney, a prescient man who anticipated both the decline of canals and the importance of the scientific work being done at the library, wisely sold off the family's interest in the shipping industry and poured the family's fortune into establishing a college of science in the swampy country north of the river. He dreamed of founding a mecca of learning and culture to rival the East Coast universities. They had a 200-year jump on him, but no more zeal for learning and truth. His motto was Scientia Vincere Tenebras, or conquering the darkness through science. And at this humble academic outpost on the Maumee River, Stickney and Poole planted a flag for reason. Deep in the woods, Esther Burchard whistled up a wind. Almost 200 years later, the Toledo Institute of Astronomy had fully emerged as the epicenter of knowledge and research that its founders had imagined. Its lecture halls and laboratories were well funded by interested corporations, its trust well endowed by generous individuals, its campus a glorious example of frontier classicism, and in 1992, its reach even extended into space, as the first Toledo Space Telescope had been launched into orbit via space shuttle. The city of Toledo was proud of its astronomers, proud of its status, standing shoulder to shoulder with Brussels or Shanghai or Sydney in the quest to unlock the secrets of the universe and plumb the depths of the history of stars. George Dermont, third-year postdoctoral research fellow and favorite instructor of most female undergraduates at the Toledo Institute of Astronomy, stopped in a stairwell of Stickney Center, looking for a vending machine that would take his dollar. George had a headache, a bad one. It felt as though the